Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the latest album from Weezer, Van Weezer. So, it's finally here. The long-delayed Van Weezer has finally dropped, their second album of 2021. And this release over here piqued my curiosity last year when they dropped the first single, and I was like, what's going on? As of recent, Weezer's been one of those bands that seems like they don't take themselves too seriously all of the time, but still deliver on writing some solid pop rock tracks. And they've always been a guitar-driven band, and Van Weezer over here really drives them into the guitars of the 80s and hair metal. And after this thing got delayed, it just kind of went away and got quiet. They announced OK Human, which they released earlier this year with some pretty fantastic results, and it kind of sounded like the ghost of Radiohead, and all those orchestral strings just kind of swept into the ethos of Weezer. I was super questionable about Van Weezer going into it. Then I heard OK Human, and I was like, okay, maybe Van Weezer can work. They're writing some of their better tracks of their career at this point. And, Van Weezer is like such a mixed bag, it almost shouldn't be surprising. That's not to say that there are some pretty decent tracks on here. Take the opening cut, The End of the Game, for example, which was the lead single. It's just like a fun track overall. I think it has a pretty strong chorus to it, and it's got a nice big stadium rock feel. The guitars are blaring, Rivers sounds great. I mean, it's just a fun track overall. I feel similar about tracks like Hero and I Need Some of That. Both have really strong, catchy choruses that are like textbook Weezer. And one of my favorite Weezer tracks, maybe ever, actually lands on this album with The Beginning of the End. It starts off with like a pretty questionable intro. I do not know why there needs to be like police sirens going off, but the chord progression that they hit on there isn't really too flashy or anything, but it just feels so good. Those chords paired with Rivers' vocal performance is just irresistible. I mean, it's textbook Weezer. Sounds like it could have come out of the 90s. And the way that they brought in the hair metal aesthetics on these tracks I just mentioned weren't really overdone. Maybe there's like a kind of cheesy solo here and there that they weave in, but it's all kind of tongue-in-cheek and just fun overall. But for some reason, the other half of this album just like doesn't commit to that, but also just like, take Blue Dream, for example. That's pretty much note for note for Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, it's just tacky. The song is a mess. Like, why? Also, One More Hit is another track that I could just forget about altogether. And it doesn't necessarily land with a bang at the end either. It ends on an acoustic ballad that's okay, but I don't know, it just didn't really leave an impression on me. It's just kind of cheesy, talking about this metal girl that he's in love with. I mean, this whole album's kind of lovesick, as you would expect, but not really the best lovesick Weezer. So I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't approach this Weezer album really expecting something great. It's definitely not their worst album by any means. So I mean, I guess go into it, expecting to have a little fun. There's obviously some cringy, skip-worthy tracks. And yeah, I don't know, it's just very run-of-the-mill Weezer. It's like right in the middle of their discography. I don't really know how else to describe it. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 5.5 over here on Van Weezer. So this did get the vinyl treatment. I'm gonna have links down below to Weezer's web store in the description box. They have a standard black pressing up, but also on another label, they do have it on a limited neon pink vinyl that I think is coming out of Australia. So I'll leave links down below for that as well. And if you have listened to Van Weezer already, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.